Hello, everybody, and welcome back to a brand new episode of the GOWEN Racing Podcast here on the channel. We hope you're all having a good week. Today, we got a lot of stuff to dive into. We purposely waited until Wednesday night to record this because today, NASCAR unveiled the next-gen car. We're going to dive into that. We're also going to talk about the most recent Kansas race with the Cup Series. NASCAR was racing as well at Darlington with the next-gen car on iRacing with some of the top NASCAR stars. We got F1 from Portugal. And then we also have some NASCAR 21 news, a little bit to dive in on that. We're going to start off with NASCAR 21 news in just a moment, but I am joined by, of course, myself, Gary Owen, and then we got Jay Cook here.
Howdy.
As well as we got Matt O'Brien.
What's up, guys?
How are we feeling? We got a lot of stuff to talk about today.
I'm feeling pretty good. Excited for the topics we got.
As some might say, I am absolutely peaked right now.
Good day for Matt.
Dude, it's been a great day.
Yeah, we got a lot of stuff to talk about. We're gonna start it off. We'll get the gaming topic out of the way first with NASCAR 21 or NXT, whatever the heck it's gonna be called. We don't officially know yet. But NASCAR Motorsport Games, who develops the NASCAR games, finally announced that the acquisition with Studio 397 is complete. Studio 397 develops the game called R Factor. Very good reputation with R Factor. A very sim-based game. Very good reputation, like I said. And basically, they are going to be developing the physics for the next NASCAR game, the tire model as well as the AI. Those are kind of the three main things I saw from what I read. So those are going to be huge. Those are all, of course, really big components of the game. And as someone that saw this coming based off of the last press release, I have dived in quite a bit to playing R Factor 2 myself, and specifically with like the stock car. And I can tell you right now, like, people are gonna love, I think, this direction that the game's going in, because it feels it's very, I wouldn't say it's full on sim like iRacing, but it's very, very still sim based, but it's still kind of casually approachable for like your casual player. Yeah. So
Okay.
I'm most curious to see how it is going to be with their physics, how it's going to be optimized for a controller, because I feel like if I go on R Factor 2 right now and I pull out a controller, it's not going to be very good, you know? So I'm very curious to see how they optimize that. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think they'll go full hardcore mode with this at all. So I feel like while they use the physics for it, I don't feel like it'll be fully fully R Factor stuff.
I mean, and then there'll also be things like assist and stuff too. So
yeah, that too.
I'm not too concerned. Like I feel like I know like Gary isn't as big as on NASCAR 15 as many are, but like I feel like that was a good balance of something that was semi-realistic and like just pick up and play.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
I agree as well.
Because like ain't no one gonna go around with saying like NASCAR Heat is this simcade-esque thing. It's pretty much just arcade.
Yeah.
The car's on rails.
And like R Factor 2, you know, like I feel like I'm driving a legitimate race car in there. Like what I do on the wheel as well corresponds into how the car should be reacting. If I lose the grip in the car and I, put in the wheel input to correct the car, it reacts the way I expect it to, versus on current NASCAR Heat, I get loose. I feel like if I try to correct it, half the time you're going head on into the wall.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, definitely.
Yeah, the looseness in NASCAR Heat is I'm just gonna say it's terrible. I'm gonna be honest. I compare a lot of things to iRacing because that's top of the line. I don't expect any console game to be iRacing, but like it feels hopeless when you are loose in NASCAR Heat.
yes. You're just doomed,
Yeah, it's like you're doomed, or you're losing over half a second.
Yeah. But I guess the physics are going to be the main thing. The tire model, I've heard very good things about the tire model from R Factor. I haven't done a race long enough to really kind of get a feel for that. But as well, the AI is going to be made from the guys that do R Factor Studio 397. That one there was the one that kind of caught my eye. and I'm very hopeful that the AI from like R Factor 2 is not representative at all of what's in the next NASCAR game because I'm personally they get around the track really well at road courses, um, but they are extremely stiff. You know, like if I go and try to dump a guy, he's not going to move at all. Um, Almost like I would compare it. You remember like NASCAR Heat Evolution, maybe, and like they don't acknowledge you very well. Like that's
Yeah,
kind
that
of
was
Mhm.
that was the one that concerned me as well. The only thing about that press release that I was kind of like, oh boy, because I saw in the thing where they mention that they think, or they say that R Factor has the best AI racing around, and first thing that came to mind was R Factor is not known for their AI racing, so I didn't think that was true, and
But in a pre-
that was the one thing that concerned me about it.
but in a press release, they're not going to say, "Oh, we have
No, yeah, no, I
mediocre
understand
AI."
that, but no, yeah, I understand that, but my point being, like they made it sound like they're relying solely on R Factor AI and the system they use, and it kind of concerns me a little bit.
yeah. That was the only thing that concerned me. But of course, who knows? I mean, they said I guess they've been working on it for quite some time now, which we kind of expected as well. Together before they even announced that they were acquiring Studio 397 like a couple months ago in the first place. I guess it's been like over a year now that they've been working together. So that's kind of the main news about NASCAR 21 or NXT, whatever it's called. Every time we get something, we're going to kind of talk about it. Before we jump away from the gaming topic, real quick, I just want to touch upon the NASCAR is actually having a DLC pack on Rocket League that comes out actually tonight. I'm curious, Matt. Jay's not going to play, but Matt, do you play Rocket League at all, or are you interested in that?
Uh, I have it on PC. I just don't play it very much.
Yeah, I downloaded it like 2 days ago. I used to play it
Uh,
quite a bit on Xbox.
um, I'm trash, but
Yeah, we weren't very good
um,
either.
no, I mean, I, I I assume you're gonna have to pay money for it.
It's like $20
It's $20.
for all.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's the main thing for me. That's like, no thanks.
Fuck no.
Yeah,
for me,
Absolutely.
I'm gonna buy it as soon as it drops, but because I want to make a
But you're in a
video.
different situation, right?
Yeah, yeah, I'm trying to make content on it. You know.
I like Gary doesn't talk about how much he makes, but I can guarantee he can make this expense, and his video may or may not make up for that loss.
If it pops off and does average, well, if it did average, we could pay it off.
Well, there you go. There you go,
Um,
guys.
but
See,
hopefully it
but you're in a
pops
different,
off.
but you're in a different situation, like, well, yeah, I have a very good job and stuff, but like, I don't have reason to spend $20 on a game I barely play.
yeah, exactly. That's
And
my
knowing that
only
I won't
problem.
get anything out of it other than, oh, I could be the armor all car in Rocket League.
Yeah, like it's a game that I despise and don't play often, so why spend the money on it?
I don't despise it.
Jay's just bad at it.
I
That's why he despises it.
Well, that's part of it, but I just also just I don't like the game. I never have.
I think it's a very unique and cool concept. I like it. It's just for me, I have to be with friends to play it, and I never had friends to play it with, so I never play it. um, but yeah, I mean, for me, it's I think overall just for NASCAR though, like to get exposure to a brand new like fan base like that is really important, really key for them.
I think it's good. It's just $20.
It is expensive.
Can you buy it?
It sounds expensive, but then when you think about what you get the three manufacturer type cars, and then there's like
One
at
car
least I
for
think
each team.
4 or 5 paint schemes for every car. So
Yeah, it's one car per team basically. That were select. There was like 10 teams, something like that.
Yeah, I don't
Um,
know. Eric Jones is one.
yeah, Bubba Wallace, I think. Yeah, he has his
Yeah,
McDonald's car. Trackhouse
Kyle,
is not in
Chase.
it.
All right, here we go. It's Newman, Almirola, Logano, Kurt, Dylan, Austin Dillon, Chase, Eric Jones, Kyle Busch, and Bubba.
So what, 9?
And then there's a NASCAR XRL decal and Goodyear racing wheels.
Oh, would have been cool if they could have got Trackhouse. That'd have been nice. But I guess.
Oh, boy,
Oh,
just you wait because I am going to do something in this race and you're not gonna about the race. You're not gonna like it.
About what
I-
one?
Oh, we'll get to it.
Kansas?
Something about Kansas.
Okay. Well, yeah. I mean, do we want to dive into Kansas now? Or do we want to talk about next gen first? I say we get Kansas out of the way because that was the last.
We know that we know this. We know the Kansas talk will end.
Yes. So we'll jump into Kansas. So Sunday, obviously, NASCAR Cup Series, Kansas Speedway. Daytime. I was not very happy to see that it was going to be a daytime race. I will admit, I was pleasantly surprised with the product. On Sunday, the finish was a complete mess. Wasn't a huge fan of that. But overall, the racing I was actually pleasantly surprised with. Wasn't the greatest racing in the world, don't get me wrong, but I think it was a lot better than what I expected.
End of stage 1 was a banger.
Yeah. Oh, that was great.
Yeah. Stage 2 was I want to go to bed. And then after a certain incident, stage 3, all hell broke loose.
Yeah, it definitely the end of the race was something else. So stage 1, what Kyle Busch won.
Yep.
It was looking like Larson, and I mean there was like 4 guys going at it. Tyler Reddick was up there.
The 4 guys at the end of stage 1 were Busch, Larson, Keselowski, and Reddick. And yeah, they were just going at it. It was great. Kyle Busch was just full sending the bottom, the fullest of sends.
And then he made it work.
Yeah.
Got the stage win.
Oh my gosh. I just now, you guys reminded me to take a look at fantasy because I forgot to check it when I got home Sunday. And can you take a guess who my garage driver was?
Kyle Busch.
Yes.
Ha.
F.
That's
F.
pain. That's absolute pain.
F.
Mine, my garage driver was De Benedetto.
Oof. That's a rough one too. Let me go look at mine. Because it was, dude, my fantasy looks good every time in like the first half of the race, and then stage 3 it just goes to a complete disaster.
I had like a overall decent day in fantasy. I just could have had Kyle Busch in over Austin Dillon and it would have gotten me like 30 more points.
All right, here's my roster. Ryan Blaney. It was looking good. Kurt Busch, he's just there this season. Reddick did good. Christopher Bell looking good until he died. I had Matty D though, so we had some salvage.
Yeah, stage 2, I really don't remember anything.
No, nothing.
I don't even know who won stage 2, to be honest.
Larson.
Oh, it was Larson? Okay.
He won it by like 7 seconds.
Oh, that's right. And he was going to win the race if there was a caution. Okay, so stage 3.
Okay.
Once again, I mean, mostly the first part was forgettable.
Controversy.
This is the best part about it. I'll let us all go through our own opinions on that. Because I'm sure we might have different opinions, kind of.
I don't have much of one because, like, I know a little bit about what happened, but I don't have.
Oh wait,
context.
were you not there?
Well,
no, How do you keep forgetting, bro?
Jay said he didn't watch the race.
Wait, you didn't watch the race? Why not?
No, I was at my aunt and uncle's all day Sunday.
Oh,
you know
okay.
this.
You missed. I would say you missed a decent race. I'm not gonna lie.
Okay.
Yeah, I didn't see a single second of it.
Okay.
Let's give context
based on
what
your
happened.
Twitter, based on what you said on Twitter, and what
hold
on.
We have
different.
I want to. Let's give an idea. Let's give context of what happened first. So, Jay, we've seen this before. Green flag pit cycle, right? Everyone's doing the pit stops. Uncontrolled tire gets rolled out to the edge of the pit lane into the grass.
Into the grass, and they don't call the caution for so many laps. Yeah, I know. Like I said, I kind of know what happened.
They let the pit cycle go through. Except they let everybody pit except Suarez was still on the track when they called it the caution, which helped us a lot.
I mean, it specifically like says in their rules that they let the pit cycle go through before they call the caution.
And so the broadcast was talking about. They said the caution's coming. Everybody knew the caution was coming. As soon as the pit cycle came through. So said there was nothing we could do about it. We knew it was coming. So I'll just give my opinion out of the way first. So my opinion was I didn't like the caution. Don't get me wrong. I'm not happy with the caution because it affected the outcome of the race. But I don't like it. In my opinion, they could find an opportunity while traffic's kind of got a space for someone to go grab that tire. But my opinion is that we shouldn't be throwing a huge storm over it because NASCAR's done this consistently. We always get on NASCAR for not being consistent. They have been very consistent with this specific thing where a tire gets out into the grass, they let the pit cycle go through before they call a caution. And when everyone gets done their cycle, they throw a caution and grab that tire. NASCAR has done this time and time again in the exact same situation over multiple years. But for some reason, like there was a huge storm on Twitter over this specific one, although we've seen it many times. Now, a lot of laps went by this time. I think this is probably the longest one.
15.
Yeah.
I think this is where a lot of the controversy comes in, is because Chris Buescher and Suarez went to the absolute limit. And when I get to my opinion, I am going to flame NASCAR very hard.
I'll let you go right now. That's all I had.
Okay. Yes, they are being very consistent with this, because this has happened ever since that one Atlanta thing with that one guy that literally ran on the pit.
Yeah, and he got in big trouble for it.
Ever since that, this is what they've basically done for all I can remember, is that they'll let the pit cycle go around and yada yada yada. They are being consistent, but the issue really entails, they say it's not a safety. The issue is that they waited basically almost 20 laps, right? So is it a safety issue or is it not? Because if it's a safety issue, the caution should come out immediately.
Yeah.
And you want to know something? Hell, this could take 50 years to happen. A tire will roll out one day, a car will crash into it at like 130 miles an hour, and that tire will go flying into the pits and kill someone. And only after that is when, kill or injured, only then NASCAR will change something. Because that's how NASCAR works. They are reactive to stuff like this.
No, I agree.
Because people are like, the odds of that happening are like 0.5%. Yeah,
there's always a chance.
There is always a chance of this happening, and I get they're being consistent, but in my opinion, it has to be as soon as it happens. As soon as the tires are, it needs to happen.
I think the main reasoning why they made the rule the way it is because they don't want it to wind up ruining the race. While they think it is a safety issue, they don't want to have the race ruined by some uncontrolled tire that no team is really at fault for. And if you haven't pitted already, then you're going to be caught out and kind of screwed over potentially. Or if you have pitted, you're going to be kind of screwed over. So I can see why NASCAR. I mean, sure, yeah, I'll agree, but I think that's why NASCAR made that rule, is to try and prevent that from happening. Because had the caution come out right then, I don't know who had pitted, but I'm just going to make up random things here. Let's say that Kyle Larson had already pitted and nobody else has.
Basically,
and then he gets screwed over and is caught a lap down. Then there's going to be a fury over why was his caution thrown and screwed Kyle Larson over. So
it didn't screw him over. It was just racing. It was just unfortunate. See, the problem is
okay.
The only reason,
even if you are correct, do you think every single fan is going to say that and agree with that? No, NASCAR is still going to get backlash. So either way, they get backlash. What gets them less backlash? The waiting until the pit cycle is over with.
I don't think so.
No, man. This Twitter was a huge storm.
Well, yeah, but it was NASCAR fans in my opinion, being overly stupid about it.
I don't think so, because in my opinion, the longer they waited, the worse NASCAR looks. Right? Because
I would agree if they were waiting for no reason, but I don't know. It's just I think we have different opinions on it.
Is there anything in the actual NASCAR rulebook about this situation?
There is not.
Okay, I was going to say, if they have it stated in the rulebook, then we can't get mad at all. But if it's something not in the rulebook, let's go for it.
Like, how would this be a rule? This is clearly a safety hazard one day. One day a car's going to hit a tire that rolls out. It's just going to happen one day. It could be 100 years from now. It's going to happen, and the thing's going to fly. But the issue is, what's the difference of a tire being there and, there's a metal sheet of debris that lands in the racing line and causes a caution. Oh my god, the race screwed Kyle Larson because there was a piece of metal on the track. It's still debris. Safety issue. You know what I'm just trying to say?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, you got a point.
What's the difference? The tire was in the grass.
I think they should have thrown the caution in the first place. It would have spiced it up more.
Honestly, I think it's a non-issue if the pit cycle doesn't take that many laps to go through, though.
Well,
There's still that risk factor, though.
this is also a product of. I'm not against stage racing particularly. I wish some things would change with it, but this really got caused by stage racing in the sense of we split it in half, right? You typically split the pit stops in half in the stages, right?
Yeah.
But some always stretch it out because they pitted and they still could go almost 20 laps like on gas, which Busher could. So you just stayed out.
And
So it's a weird situation. And the most irritating thing for me is that NASCAR waits for the pit cycles to go through. Guess what? Spoiler alert. It didn't actually go all the way through. Gary.
Daniel Suarez. My man, you have no idea how much I loved when I saw the caution come out. I was like, Suarez hasn't come in yet. I was like, this is great.
That is, I'm just gonna say, bullshit.
No, it was great.
I get it because you're biased for Suarez, but in the argument of like NASCAR, oh, we're gonna wait till the pit, everyone cycles through. They didn't cycle through.
Nope, they did not.
So then you can say their thinking probably was we've already got so many cars through. There's only 2 left to pit.
No, I'll give you the logic, Jay. It's because Suarez wasn't leading the race.
Yeah, I agree. That's exactly why.
That's 100% the reason, and that's bullshit.
Yeah, Suarez, he was still down in the. Was he even in the top 10?
Suarez couldn't even get like about 23rd all race.
That's about where he ran most of the race, right around there, actually.
So I talked to Gary earlier about this in the week about some other stuff, and this is about how you get your finishes. Yes, Suarez does end up finishing 11th, which is impressive in one right, but he was also halfway gifted it because of NASCAR, in my opinion, NASCAR stupidity.
Yeah, they should have. I mean, at least waited for him.
Yeah, if NASCAR is going to commit to this, they have to make sure everyone gets through, unless like some cars like 4 laps down who actually cares about them. Right?
Yeah.
So.
And then, I mean, we try to move on from that. It's very, very. I'm sure we'll see it again sometime this season. So.
Now chaos.
Yeah, chaos ensues. So there was a restart. There was like 3 crashes after this happened.
Yeah,
so did Larson lose the lead right away? Was that the one Hamlin was able to get it?
Yeah, so Hamlin gets by him. I forget exactly how it does it, but before we start talking about what exactly happens, I think most people will agree that Hamlin, Larson, and Blaney choke a lot. I think everyone here will probably agree to that to some extent.
That would be my top 3 choke artists of NASCAR, literally right there.
So before we start diving in, I just want to create this term called choke zodia, because it forms greatly here. Choke zodia is forming because we have it all. The top 3 chokers in NASCAR all come to force as one in this race and put on a choking performance like no other.
Oh god, I mean, not wrong. So I mean, Hamlin takes the lead. Larson's putting pressure on him a little bit, and I was like, I don't know, maybe 10 laps in to the run.
Let's see,
if that.
Hamlin led 6 laps.
6. Oh yeah, it was even shorter. So 6 laps and 3/4 into that run. Denny Hamlin gets a little tight. Into the wall he goes. And around goes Larson and blows a tire moments later, like 2 laps, and crashes the car Still finishes better, by the way, than Kyle Larson.
He finished 12th somehow.
Yeah, well, I mean, there was so much chaos and like 5
Yeah,
wide, 4 wide on those restarts. I mean, anything can happen.
Yeah.
So that happened. Hamlin brought out a caution after his tire went. Like I said, he still
Yeah.
somehow rebounds at 12th. But then they got going again. And I think, did Larson lose the lead again?
No, he hasn't lost the lead yet. He keeps the lead on this restart. And this is I know you I knew you were gonna like this tweet when I did it. Now that was a Stenhouse I know.
Yeah, Stenhouse caused a caution. I forget who it was on his outside. Oh my.
33.
30. Oh, Cindric, that's right.
Cindric.
And Stenhouse crashes. Caution. Well, he just spins, pretty much, and caution comes out again. So then we're getting closer and closer to the end of the race, and then another restart, of course.
This is the restart Kyle Busch takes.
Well, don't forget, this is when we had some drivers come into the pit lane as well.
Yes.
Put on 4 tires. Next thing you know, I thought Keselowski was about to win the thing.
Yeah. Oh, no, that was the one after Hamlin crashed.
Okay, so then that brought them closer to them.
And then some others pitted on this one, and then some others pitted on the last one. Yada yada yada. How it goes.
And we got going. Larson throws the lead away again.
Chokes it. I don't really know what else. He just chokes it. I guess.
And then Stenhouse crashes again with someone.
Yeah.
Someone started the crash. I think it was
Stenhouse, Bell, and then Priest crashed. So.
And then a caution.
Yeah.
And then there's overtime. Larson was third, wasn't he not? Fourth, because he was second on the second row. He's on the outside second row.
I think he was third. Who knows? He was second on the outside. There.
Blaney was first on the outside. Kyle Busch was first on the bottom. Kyle Busch literally third best car all race. The 2 guys in front of him, Hamlin chokes, crashes. Kyle Larson chokes. He's been handed the win. Kyle Busch isn't known for choking. There's no way he throws this away.
And then Blaney is on the front row.
So they get going. Larson's burying himself into the back of Blaney, trying to give himself a chance to push Blaney out front. And then, like, in the middle of turns 1 and 2, don't push too much. Blaney's like, oh boy, he goes for a ride. What a save, though, from Ryan Blaney.
Yeah, that was incredible.
But Larson goes, pounds the wall. It was like he never even lifted.
Yeah, I don't know. The weird thing is, like, I kind of felt like people were just pushing on restarts all day like that. So it was just really weird to see Blaney spin.
Yeah, I don't know if Larson just pushed too hard.
I would need to look at other things. Yeah, it was what's weird. I was like, oh, because I felt like they were all pushing all the way, like through 1 and 2 all day.
And then in round goes the 12th.
Yeah.
And it was crazy restart. There was like 4 or 5 wide.
So at this point we have completed Choke Zodia.
Choke Zodia complete, and then literally just Kyle Busch drives away with the win. And his first win of the year.
I'm sorry, I had an incident before the podcast, and
now he's coughing a lot. F in the chat for Karma or Matt.
There was some weird things that happened before this.
But yeah, Kyle Busch wins. Did he have the winning car? Absolutely not, but still was able to win the race. Kevin Harvick got second after it was just a chaos final couple laps. So Kyle Busch, still, in my opinion, not impressed at all with the 18 team. They actually had a better run, of course. They were in position.
They were very good.
Yeah, but still not the Kyle Busch form I expect. He just lucked into being in the right spot there to hang on to a win.
Well, he performed when he had to on those restarts, and that's Kyle Busch. If there's someone you don't want to go against on a restart, it's probably Kyle Busch.
Once again, by the way, Stewart Haas, non-existent except for Kevin Harvick. Same situation every single week.
Let's see. See. Chase Briscoe got 20th. Top 20. That's a huge improvement.
Custer 24th. Almirola 29th.
Jesus, man.
Wow.
I can't believe they're this bad.
I know, it's baffling.
Like, I want to put this in perspective, honestly. If you took Kevin Harvick out of the equation,
non-existent team.
Front Row Motorsports is better than this team.
Yeah.
I wanna point this
Trackhouse,
out. Yeah,
even 2311 on the most part.
out of the Ford, Stewart-Haas would be the 4th best Ford team.
Problem here is I can't even think of 3 Ford teams.
Penske,
Oh, Penske, yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, Penske front
Roush.
row. Oh, Roush, yeah, okay.
They're terrible. They're garbage. I'm just gonna say they're garbage.
Yeah, they are. No, I mean Harvick is literally the only thing that they have going.
And
I mean, and at this point, I just pour my resources into him for the rest of the year.
but like, it's also obvious. Like, Stewart-Haas is not even on the same level because even Harvick isn't.
No, yeah, no, he wasn't going to be anywhere near second.
No,
he
no,
was, he
I'm not
lucked into that
talking
too,
about
you know.
this race for Harvick.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, all year long, you know. We expected him to win in Atlanta. He didn't do anything. Let me see but let's go through a few notables here. DeBenedetto, another good run, P4.
Remember when we said there was no chance he could make playoffs?
Now look at him.
Yeah.
RCR, Reddick and Austin Dillon, top 10. Suarez, we said, rebounded to P11 with the lucky caution.
RCR has been sneaky good. Yes. They're
McDowell,
not great. He refuses to die.
He was 13th. We go down the order. Larson ended up being down in P19. Austin Cindric, rookie, 22nd. Alfredo there in 23rd, which is actually pretty decent as well for that car. But 23-11, Bubba Wallace again, another rough day, down in 26th place.
I'm gonna say this one was mostly on him.
Yeah, I didn't even pay attention to the team, so I don't know if they had anything go wrong or they were just rough.
He had contact with Logano early and got.
There was that one moment with Bowman where he slipped up.
He almost went up.
That's right.
And that was all on him. There was nothing around. He just lost it.
And then Stenhouse, 34th.
Yeah,
I consider him a notable right now.
I think the Magic is 2 bad weeks in a row, and then everyone's like, "Oh, nope, there went the Magic."
Yeah, it's gone. It's not coming back.
It's gone. No chance.
So,
but I guess. I just want to say, RPM, it's pain. Being an Eric Jones fan, it's pain.
Yeah.
We'll get into it a little later. Mostly pain.
Let's quickly look at the driver standings. By the way, Hamlin, 2 rough weeks in a row. His points lead's fine. 87 points ahead still.
It actually didn't shrink from last week.
Exactly. That's just crazy.
But it didn't get bigger
until he just doesn't screw up.
Yeah.
So you look at Truex. He's doing pretty good. I mean, Byron's doing good. Byron's having a career season, obviously.
9 top 10s in a row.
Blaney's doing solid in points. I mean, Harvick's still actually 8th in points. He's having a good run. Austin Dillon's 11th. McDowell is still in the top 16 on points. Buescher's in right now, and Matt DiBenedetto is 14th on the grid. It says in the playoff grid.
No, he's 16th.
Okay, the NASCAR app says 14th. It says he has a playoff point. That's why it puts him 14th.
He won a stage at Talladega.
Yeah, but point wise, he is 16th.
Point wise, 16th. Playoff grid wise, 14th. He's 12 above the cut line. 12 above the cut line.
12's the good against Kurt Busch. Which is honestly this thing. I was like, where's Kurt?
I don't even know. Yes, non-existent.
Like we know how good Kurt can be, and I don't know if it's maybe old age or Chip Ganassi is a little.
I mean, that team has looked pretty bad all season long.
Like
Chastain had a decent run in Kansas.
Yeah, he did. It was scary. Whenever you see Ross near the top 10,
get out of Dodge, man.
Most terrifying thing in NASCAR right now.
What I'm baffled about is how the 23 is above the 99 in points still. No one?
You know what? You want me to give you the answer?
He's only good by 7 points over Suarez, but I'm still baffled.
Hey, remember that Suarez got a 10-point penalty XD.
Oh god, yeah, that's right.
Mm-hmm.
Haven't we gotten 2 penalties now?
You didn't get a penalty for the second thing,
Oh, okay.
but you lost your crew chief for like 2 weeks.
Travis Mack. So Suarez 22nd, 50 points out.
I think he's. No
Suarez
chance.
ain't making the playoffs. No, that car does not belong in the playoffs.
Well, we still have a lot of road courses because who knows what can happen, and weird things can happen, and we still have Daytona.
Oh man, a Daniel Suarez victory would complete my life.
Okay, so we're at 10 winners now, right?
Mm-hmm.
I obviously think we're gonna see
13.
Chase, Harvick, and 13 pretty safe bets here. But you want to know, I was like, man, there's always one or two just oddball that just like, what in the hell?
We've already got one.
We got one. There's another one in the bank. And since of how weird this year has been in NASCAR, I'm sure we have 2 in the bank.
Technically, I feel like we have 2. I would say that William Byron's probably on that.
But look how he's doing this year.
List either.
Yeah, looking at this.
How he's doing, yes, but previously, compared to what you think going into a season playoff standing wise.
Yeah,
I think that one of the road courses, is going to be the best opportunity for an oddball.
Mm-hmm.
Like something like Road America or something crazy is going to go down and someone's going to get into the right spot and win. I think Coda, Elliott's tested there, Truex is tested there. One of them's going to win there. Road America is like the one I circle of like that could be like the really big shakeup for the road courses.
The thing with Road America, tends to ran a lot there.
Elliott has won there, hasn't he? Or has he been close?
No. Elliott hasn't won Road America.
Okay, so he's been close then, because I remember his Xfinity.
It never. Yeah, but I think like the law of averages say we're going to get a full-on rain race at one of these road courses.
I hope so bad.
I hope so. I really do.
Could you imagine like the Roval in the Xfinity Series? Put that in the Cup cars at like Coda. Oh, dude, throw everything you know and just throw it out the window. Just throw it out the window.
I think Coda is the one road course I don't want to see rain happen, just because I want to see how that track truly drives with the Cup cars.
Those laps would be forever.
Yeah,
that too.
That, and want to know something? Full rain, going down that backstretch into that tight left-hander. Good night. No chance. No chance.
Gary, you say the laps will take forever at Road America. The laps will take forever at Coda. The laps will take forever at Road America too.
That's correct. I
already
think,
around 2 minutes.
I think Coda would take longer though, just because of just the way the track is. Just like the cornering designs.
I think we'll find out in a couple weeks.
Yeah, we will. I mean, we have so many road courses. It's got to rain on one of them.
Yeah, and we've gone so like okay, we started on wet tires at the Roval. That doesn't count. It wasn't raining. It was just wet. I'm talking like
we want an actual rain race.
I want. Okay, maybe the Roval Xfinity race that was a little too extreme. I'll admit, but it was hilarious. But I want like this constant rain, not too heavy, but this make it wet and make it really treacherous. I want to see.
I thought the Xfinity Roval race was perfect. I thought that was for like a rain race. I thought that was perfect. It was.
Yeah, I think it was more the drivers are just bad.
True. I guess that's true.
You get more experience on it, and that won't happen like that. But I thought it was great.
I mean, you saw a guy like Allmendinger, a guy that's got experience, and he held on well. I mean, he actually complained after the race about it, but he still held on well. He knew what he was doing. But I mean, of course, NASCAR drivers, most of the field has no experience with rain racing, so it's going to be chaos no matter what. So, is it time?
For next gen?
Yeah.
It's here.
The time has come. NASCAR Next Gen, May 5th, the day after May the 4th. Be with you. I've never seen Star Wars in my life. I never will because I don't care about Star Wars. Take that, Jay.
Well,
take that, Jay.
Well, at this point, I don't blame you.
I don't think Star Wars is. I don't think Star Wars is good as many people claim to be.
No, it's not.
It's somewhere in the middle.
It's really not. It's way overhyped. As much as I like Star Wars, it's definitely overhyped.
I'm more interested in Minions 2 that's coming out. I will be watching that though when it comes out. Not in a movie theater because I think those have been closed down here for like a year and a half now. But next gen NASCAR, today was the big day. We waited to do the podcast just because of today. I actually forgot to mention Eddie might be joining us at some point throughout this podcast once he finishes iRacing. So he might be joining us very soon. We'll see. But NASCAR Next Gen, today was the big reveal. We saw the leaked image of the Ford and the Chevrolet Camaro like a week ago. Sure enough, turned out to be the real thing. But of course, we got a way better look at them today. And of course, the Toyota Camry, which was probably the least changed up car. But overall, we got to look at all three cars. And we got to see the single lug nut, the wide rims look really good as well. In the NASCAR race, just real quick on that, the colored rims with how wide they are and how much, I guess, towards the edge of the wheel they are now, they look so good with like on Logano's car and crap.
The Brad, it was the white so rims. Good on Brad.
Oh yeah,
oh my god, that was so good.
But yeah, I mean, those rims, they look great. And 5 gears, we thought it was originally going to be 6 gears in the cars. Ended up being 5, which still, of course, adding more gears, which is cool. I think downshifting at some tracks is going to be a thing on ovals, depending. I think a track like Richmond, Martinsville, definitely you could see that. Bristol, if it's anywhere similar to iRacing, you can definitely go down into 4th. I was running the bottom there. If you go to the bottom, I highly recommend downshifting, by the way. But
let's also just say, because, all right, spoiler, these cars are in iRacing already. And I'm just going to say these things are on absolute rails.
They have, just from a couple laps that I did at Bristol, Matt was like, yo, like, Bristol's insane with the grip. I checked it out. It is unbelievable with the grip levels there. So, and they said that there was a lot more grip, mechanical grip in these cars. Yep. And then there's 30% more braking or whatever. So road courses, that's going to be huge. I was driving the thing on the road course at the Roval and the Daytona road course.
It feels a lot more grippy.
Feels more grippy, but it's still a monster.
I imagine with the iRacing model, they don't have the new Goodyear tires for it, do they?
No. Okay. I don't think so. Well, I might be wrong.
They look like the what they look like on the next one, like they're the single lug nut, I think. But
yeah, but like the actual compounds and stuff.
Yeah,
you know,
I would assume.
I didn't think so.
I would assume. I don't know.
Because those will provide more grip as well, because they're going with the softer compound and wider tire next year. So that'll provide a lot more grip too.
So I guess we should start talking about the look of the car.
Yeah. So I'll let you guys start off. Just start with Matt. Overall, like your thoughts on all three cars. You can just talk about each one, what you like about it or whatever, but just like your overall opinion on what it looks like. I mean, that's kind of really what we got to see, is just the design and whatnot. So what were your thoughts on it?
The Ford is hot.
Agree.
I like how I rank them as Ford, Camry, Camaro. I know Chevy fans are gonna go ballistic. Oh my god, he didn't put Camaro number 1. How's it possible? I just don't like Camaro that much, honestly. I just don't like how it looks. Just me. It's just, that's just the thing with cars. You can like some, you can like some, you like, and then not like some. So I just really don't like the Camaro. Like, I don't know. But like, for what a Camaro is, it does look good. All three look very good. but that Ford was just, the Ford looks mean. It just looks mean, that front end. But that's what I got. Jay?
Yeah, I kind of agree with you. The same thing. Like, all three of them look fantastic, and I have the same ranking that you do. I'll go Mustang, Camry, Camaro. I think with the Gen 6, the Camaro is my favorite out of the three, but for some reason, to me, the Camaro doesn't fit right, kind of like the other three cars do, especially in the back. The rear end of that car is hideous.
Yes,
in my opinion,
But that's what a Camaro looks like.
Yeah, that's true. But like the Mustang, so I fell in love immediately with the Mustang when I saw the front end and a little bit of the side, and then I saw a picture of the rear end, and like my jaw dropped to the floor Like, it looks so good. The rear end of that car looks exactly like the factory version of the car. It
Mhm.
looks amazing. I'm so astounded and just happy to see a rounded rear end. The way that the body is actually conformed to look like each of the cars. We don't have the the same pretty much same bodies, just a different front end like we do now with the Gen 6. Like they all look different. They all have their own type of feel to the car. They all look fantastic, and honestly, I think that Camry looks almost just as good as the Mustang. All of them look all of them look amazing, and I cannot wait to see them on the track next year.
Yeah. People are like saying like, "How can you like the Camry?" Dude, the Camry was the best looking car at IMO. That
The
front
Camry
end,
looks mean to me. Like
yeah.
compared to the Mustang, it looks a little bit more mean to me than the Mustang does. It just I like it front end from the front
The
end.
Camry's been the best car since they updated to like the 2018 or 2017. Like
Yeah,
it just
if they would
looks
have went
so
with a
good.
Supra, I don't think it would have.
Uh, that that would have been
I
cringe.
don't. Yeah, I like the fact that and people are saying that Camry's not a sports car. It is. It specifically is, especially the one that they're using, the
Mhm.
TRD Camry. It's a sports car.
And the funny thing is, people like say that stuff. I don't think people really know like the Camry that they're using in NASCAR right now. Like the car on the road that you can buy, it was more designed for NASCAR than it was for the damn road.
That's true. Yeah, that's very true.
Like people need to realize, like, and that's why when it came on the scene, it was so good, and it
Yeah,
probably still honestly is the best car consistently. Like
my
the
only
thing just
worry
makes
right now.
downforce. The thing just makes downforce.
Yeah, it really does. I think my only worry right now is how the three cars are going to match up on super speedways. Because I mean, the Camaro looks to be more pointed again, and then obviously we have the rounded rear end of the Mustang, and the
All of them are
Camry's kind
rounded.
of rounded too.
All of them are round.
The Camaro's more flat in my opinion than the other two.
But we've seen that in plate racing, they will make special packages.
That's true.
Well, they actually said that they're going to use the same car for each track, other than the spoiler and whatnot.
Yeah, you have a good point.
Well, we will see because they also did announce that when we go to Daytona in August, they will do a plate test with multiple cars. So we
That'll
will
be
see what
fun.
happens there.
Um,
So we'll see what they do there. I don't.
I gotta say though, when they were testing the car, like before we saw the manufacturers, I was very skeptical of the way the rear end looked, especially with the short deck lid. I was not for it at all, and I hated the way it looked. And then now that they released the cars and they actually like they look more like the road cars, and I was thinking, I think the short deck lid looks great.
Mm-hmm.
I
I have to go to Bob's Twitter because there's so much info on this stuff today.
I like all the cars. I think I'd like Mustang #1 for me, Camaro, Toyota. But the Mustang was it's a beautiful race car, and
Hmm.
the Camaro I don't yeah like I like the Camaro, but like the front lights, I don't know, it almost seems like they're larger. It's
I'm
weird.
just not a fan of a Camaro, to be honest. It's just a me thing.
I like it. Toyota Camry, of course. The one thing that I don't know what it is that stands out to me, but the Camry, something that I really like is it's like the back half of the car and how the roof is with the back window as well. Something's different there that stands out to me in a really good way.
I
Like
like
it looks awesome.
I like the overall body shape of the Camry more than I do the other two, just because it's the more like sleek and skinny design, kind of compared to the Mustang that's got the really buffed out front end. And it looks a little bit weird, even though it's still the best looking car. It looks a little bit weird, and then the Camaro kind of has the same thing a little bit. But the Camaro is just kind of like sleek all down the sides and stuff, and it looks really good. I think from the front, the Camaro looks the best, or not the Camaro, the Camry.
Yeah, I mean
Yeah.
overall they all look great.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah, they look great.
Great move or great production by NASCAR with just overall the car designs, and they did a great job revealing the cars. Very impressed with what we're seeing visually. Single
Just
lug
hope
nuts,
that the
of
racing
course.
is as good as they look.
Hopefully so. I'm very curious. Daytona 500 is going to be so important for NASCAR next year because they
Yeah,
don't
yeah.
want to have like a 2013 repeat with they bring in the Gen
Oh,
6 and then it's like the worst Daytona 500 known to
Then
man. And
2020 happened.
yeah, the last one
2021.
was just as bad. By the way, Eddie's here now. I don't know if he's actually at the mic. Are you there, Eddie? He's not there. Okay, he can jump in whenever
He'll
he
be here.
wants.
Yeah.
But he is here in our chat. We don't know exactly when he will actually be here. But was there anything else about the next gen car that was worth noting?
There's
The OEM, or not the OEM, the spec parts and everything, and
spec parts.
teams
They
no
got
longer
engines
building
in them.
anything.
Yeah, teams have to buy from a specific
vendor.
vendor, and every team has to do that. They can't build their own stuff anymore. So, of course.
Personally, I'm not against that. I like that idea.
Oh no,
No,
actually, I think it's great.
This instantly brings the field closer to each other.
Yeah, I heard.
Like,
I think it was.
People can scream about innovation is gone and all this kind of stuff. It's really not, because there's still things you can figure out with the setups. There's still things you can figure out on race weekend. You just can't really do it with the building of the car. You can't get an advantage by spending more money than the next guy, and I think that's great.
I can't remember who it was, but I saw a quick interview this morning. It was either Bubba Wallace or Eric Jones, but it said like at the end of the day, like the teams with the most money are still going to have like a bit of an advantage, of course. But they said if NASCAR does something similar to where they haven't really changed the current gen car up really drastically at all in the last few years, and it's allowed some of these other teams to close in. So they said like if NASCAR kind of keeps the car the same, it's really going to kind of close that gap overall in the long run between the teams. So hopefully that's what happens. I mean, I want to see more competitiveness and have these smaller teams get a little bit closer to the front guys, but it's going to be interesting.
I don't know why so many of these fans, and I'm just going to go on a tiny rant for a second. I don't know why so many of these fans are concerned about innovation and making all these cars and finding each little bit that you can get. Because what that translates to in race day is one team being better than the rest, and it just winds up being a snooze fest. When all the teams kind of have the same stuff and they have to find their own advantages through setups or something that they can't spend money on and have to use their brain for, then that's where you get more competitive racing, because you don't have an advantage of just spending more money than the next guy. Like you actually have a closer field that's together and more competitive racing, and it comes down to more skill of the driver and how good the crew chief is with getting the setups done, which is still obviously important today, no matter what. But it's going to be, I think, even more important with this car coming in now that we're not going to have the huge technical advantages that all these higher spending teams have.
Make some money, forehead.
Hello, Eddie.
Fall?
But
sorry, I get some food.
Welcome. They also, I think it was Steve O'Donnell said the car is like they are going to be harder to drive. Tyler Reddick, who's tested the car, said it's harder to drive.
I like hearing that.
But I've also
really, that's something like number one thing I wanted to hear.
That's huge. And I saw Steve though say that they're likely going to be using the similar horsepower next year. So I'm curious to see how that's still going to work out. You know,
I don't expect much of a horsepower change next year, because we obviously have engine stuff changing year after next. But if they I'm fine with the 550 as long as they get rid of the tapered spacer. If they want to keep the 550 for the new regulations but get rid of the tapered spacer, fine. That's amazing. 550 is good enough to do racing. It's the spacer, like Karma's pointed out before. It's the spacer that kind of makes the issue.
Let's go to 1,000.
Yeah, imagine. I mean, like NASCAR has proven that with the current horsepower and whatnot, that they can still put on great races. I mean, they've proven as well they can still put on boring races like we had before when we did have the high horsepower. So
even 950 horsepower would put on snoozers, man.
Exactly.
It's just how it goes.
It's just kind of like NASCAR went to the lower horsepower, and now that it's still produces boring races just like the old one did here and there, people use that as the go-to, like, oh, it's because we got to get more horsepower in the cars. But I mean, with the old horsepower, we still had massive snooze fests where the gaps got huge between the cars and whatnot. So
I personally am still a fan of give them a shit ton of horsepower, give them a shit ton of downforce, and let's go have another year like 2015 and 14.
I agree.
Those personally were the best years of NASCAR I've watched. I haven't watched a ton. I've only been watching NASCAR for I think 10 or 11 years now, but
you had a lot of downforce.
Of my time watching, that was fantastic when you had a lot of downforce and a lot of horsepower there to still make the cars hard to drive.
Yeah, I was going to say they had a lot of downforce, but there was so much horsepower they still had to wheel those things.
Yeah, exactly.
Um,
I think that's personally the direction that NASCAR needs to take, and I sadly I don't think we'll ever get there again because NASCAR said their main reasoning for doing this is costs for the team.
and more appealing to
But
manufacturers that want to
yeah,
join.
but I mean, honestly, if we're going with the thing now of where teams just buy stock parts from a thing and they no longer have to spend money to develop their own parts, then maybe we can get back to teams spending more money for higher horsepower engines. I don't know if NASCAR's thinking is that way, but maybe that's where we head down and for the new regulations in 2023.
One note: composite bodies are a thing now as well.
Yes, very excited.
Yeah, thank God.
Very excited about that.
And I know Dustin Long tweeted about it, and I saw some slight misunderstanding of the rule. Teams are only allowed 7 cars.
Yep.
True.
All right, so there's a little misunderstanding. Some people are like, for the whole year, only 7 cars.
No, it's by each team.
And so each team is 7 cars. But here's the thing: let's say we go to the Daytona 500, and you just total the damn thing, right?
Yep. Which will
You
happen.
Yeah. You can build a new car. You can only have 7 in rotation at a time, basically.
Right.
Apparently, I read something where apparently it's like for each team. I don't know if that was true or not. Apparently, somebody
No.
said so. Like Chase would have 7, Byron have 7, Bowman would have 7.
That is true.
Yeah. Okay. I thought I was tripping. I'm like 7 cars, like each team. I'm like, holy shit!
Nah,
all
yeah,
right,
no,
we
that
got
would never
slim
happen.
pickings, everything.
Yeah, so I mean, I think that's a good thing.
Honestly,
I
if you
agree.
can't make 7 cars work for your own team, yeah, you need a guy that can not crash the car every week.
I feel bad for Chip Ganassi
Or
already.
Steph 47 team.
Hey, Stenhouse, he's got to make up for the quota now, man. He's gonna be.
He's gonna be wrecking all year long now. Yeah.
Can't wait.
Hey, man, cautions, man, restarts. I love them.
So, but no, these cars look so good. Oh, they look good.
Very impressed. Before we kind of slightly move on, Eddie, now that you're here, overall
Dad?
thoughts on the looks of the cars and what you saw from the next gen reveal?
Sex. They're all sexy as hell. That's all I gotta say. I was in love at first thing. I can't wait for my eardrums to go completely dissipated into pieces when I go there with no earplugs, even though they're gonna yell at me like, Eddie, you need earplugs. No, I don't. Leave me alone. But I mean, the Ford looks great. I'm still gonna say it looks like a freaking Audi, but I mean, Toyota looks like they didn't change. Shocking. I'm kind of in everyone else's boat. Apparently, a lot of people, including myself, think they should switch to Supra, which I think they should have. But I guess I gotta put that off. Camaro, sexy as always. I'm a Chevy person. I'm always never gonna disappoint with a Chevy. So I mean, what are you gonna do? I love it. Great.
Is that your favorite one, the Chevy?
Honestly, it's a toss up between the Chevy and the Ford for me. I think Toyota's last. The Chevy, just the pictures and everything that I saw, like how it looks in the night. I know it's just like the base scheme. It's not like nobody's original scheme or anything. Same thing with the Mustang and the Camry. But if you're looking for a decent looking car out of the 3 that showed up on that stage, Mustang, Chevy 1 and 2, doesn't matter which one. It could be either or. Camry is definitely third. It's 100% third. Doesn't change. I love what they did with the whole thing because the rear ends look amazing, but the Mustang actually looks like a Mustang, which is great. Camaros and the Camrys are meh, but I mean they tried. But the Mustang actually looks like a Mustang when you look at it from the rear, which is good.
Yeah,
but other than that, I don't see any complaints or anything. Everybody that makes any kind of complaints about any of this should just stop watching at this point. I mean, seriously.
I want to touch on about the Supra thing. So, like, I was watching the president guy or whatever for Toyota, the guy that was representing them talk. First of all, I think the Camry blows the Supra away in looks. That's how I feel about it. But the guy was saying that it makes them at Toyota very proud when they bring in each series a different type of Toyota and find, like, success, year after year. Mm-hmm. And I was like, that's actually a really good point. Like, there's no one else really doing that, where he brings in the Toyota Tundra and the trucks are finding success. They bring in the Supra and Xfinity and they're having tremendous success there. And then they bring the Camry, a third different type of Toyota, into the Cup Series, and they're still finding success in championships and stuff. And I thought that was a nice little point by him. But yeah, I still think the Camry, the roof and whatnot, like the back half of that car, there's something about just the way the roof kind of flows and stuff. It looks really good. But I guess there wasn't really much else. They did show like a little bit of the interior on like a little kind of promo, and I saw that rear view camera, and I was like, yeah, that looks cool. One weird thing, they moved the digital dash in the car.
Yeah,
I like it. It's more of a modern race car.
Well, you can't have an excuse for not looking out the windshield anymore.
Yeah, that dash is right below the windshield, what you see in a lot of modern race cars nowadays.
I wish it's a little bigger.
I feel like, I don't know if they're going to change it, but I definitely agree with that. Because, yeah, no, it definitely needs to be larger, but I don't know if they can really make it larger with the spot it's in.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, they could raise it like a little bit, just barely covering the bottom of the windshield, because it's not going to affect, if you can see the hood still. But
I don't need to look out my windshield. I'll use somebody in front of me to be my windshield.
I'm also interested. Are they going to be? Is the rear view mirror in the car going to be gone then completely?
I think so.
Oh, dude, we got 5 gears. We got a thing that looks so small.
There's one thing that I do want to bring up with these cars, and it was the very first. Getting a little ahead of ourselves with the iRacing event. It was a little jarring seeing them on track the first time because these things are fucking wide. They're wide.
They're wide.
We found out in turn
wide, boy.
Gravitational.
I mean, we might as well transition into that now.
Like turn left now, immediate left turn.
eNASCAR Next Gen cars were on show tonight at Darlington for the eNASCAR Pro Invitational. Turn 1, they all died.
Turn 1, all dead. Turn 2, Alfredo turned to Hamlin.
And Hamlin had a horrendous night.
And Hamlin just didn't.
He made what, 8 laps?
Hamlin was here, so I just. Hamlin was just there, so he couldn't get fined.
Did you see him on Twitter? Did you see him on Twitter? It was so funny.
The only stuff I saw from him today was talking about number placements.
Okay, so he did a thing like because Keehan Lee he was spotting for him, and then he did like a 18 second video clip, and he was like, "Well, Keegan told me this race is gonna go much worse than it did," and Hamlin was like, he told him, "No shit."
It's great.
Oh, I see it there. Yeah.
Yeah, you have to watch. It's so.
I'll watch that after. I'll keep it up so I can look at that. But
they wrecked a lot.
They did. Actually, when they weren't wrecking, there was a decent green flag run like in the last half, and it actually like I was enjoying watching it. I thought it was pretty good racing. So the outside was prevailing a lot. But I mean, overall, really obviously. That's
iRacing Darlington.
Yeah, what we saw tonight is going to be no indication of what we're going to actually see from the next gen car racing wise next year.
Oh, this thing can't freaking turn. I'm driving it right now.
Take it to Bristol,
dude.
Oh, don't tell me to say less.
Eddie, did you see the thing I said in your Twitch chat? With how fast I went.
Yeah. I mean, my phone was dead, so yeah.
I ran a 14.27 at Bristol.
14. All right.
The grip, the grip is unbelievable.
Yeah,
I'm going in there.
The grip in these cars, because they are in iRacing, guys. The grip in these things are insane.
At night or day?
Day.
All right, bet. Say less. In there.
But the grip is insane. I haven't had time to do any like long runs and stuff because when I've seen on Twitter, I guess some of the drivers saying like once the tires grip, you're all over the place. But we'll see.
Okay.
But yeah, back to the race. A lot of wrecks.
A lot of crashes.
Eric freaking Jones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Eric Jones comes out of nowhere, makes the right calls.
43 did that in freaking iRacing. Shit.
Wins the race.
It's gonna be probably the only one I get to celebrate all year.
And the Bubba haters are freaking ecstatic.
Did something happen to him?
No, Eric won.
No, because Eric won in the 43.
Oh, get out of here! Because he won on iRacing.
You know that's why is the picture freaking Impala?
Impala for what?
In the test session, the car looks like an Impala.
Oh, I don't know. I bought the Mustang. That's what I bought.
I bought every single thing. My bank account's broke.
I might buy the
just
Camaro and whatnot.
Why can't I adjust every single thing to this car? I don't want to touch anything. Why?
Anyways, focusing on the race.
Holy crap!
Yeah, Jones wins. Whatever. Who was? I don't even know. Alfredo second.
Oh dear Lord!
Yeah, without a front bumper.
Then it was like Dale Jr. or something up there.
Third.
So overall, a lot of crashes, but I felt like when they were actually racing, it was fun to watch. I think they said they're going to Coda next.
Yeah, whenever
the next two races, I think they're the last two or whatever. Are Coda and Chicago.
Coda, yeah, but they also announced that the Chicago Street Race will also be on the next gen cars.
This thing turns amazing.
Oh, and there is an oval race with the old car, or it was Coda with the old car or something, or current car. Sorry,
I feel like there's one more in between Coda.
I am pretty sure there was, but I can't
remember what it is.
Who cares? I don't remember. Who cares? Yeah,
it'll happen eventually.
Chicago Street Course will be the last one on Fox. Jeff Gordon was like, that could possibly be on the real schedule.
And then Adam Stern, like 2 days ago, was like, they're looking into it.
Potentially as soon as 2022. So that'll be neat.
Yeah. As an Eric Jones fan, it was great because it's probably the only thing I get to celebrate all year.
He's so excited. The Eric Jones fans all over the world want next gen to start now. After seeing this race,
Daniel Suarez had a rough one.
Yeah.
Both of my guys had a rough one. Heck, I think we're already into F1.
Yeah. I do want to say the move Eric Jones to get had to
3 wide.
Get that was hot. You have to admit it was hot.
Yeah, no, that was impressive. He sent it. Made it
Jones
work.
boy was hot.
It's not the first time he sent the 3 wide at Darlington to get the lead.
It's not the first time. He's won twice at Darlington now.
Oh, it's his best track, but RPM's probably going to bring a really shitty car and ruin his runs there. So, we are at F1 already.
I feel like we've actually progressed through this way faster than anticipated.
Yeah.
But yeah. F1 it was Portugal, right? Yep. I said Portugal. Okay, so it was Portugal. Unfortunately, the way my work schedule is, I pretty much miss every F1 race now, depending on if the race is in the morning, I miss it, unfortunately, unless I have a Sunday off, so I didn't get to see it. Of course, I know what happened. But at Jay, do that. But so I said Lewis Hamilton's going to win. I was right. I also said on Twitter, I said Lewis Hamilton's still going to run away with the championship. I don't care how close Red Bull is. I stand by that. I think he's still going to run away with it. But you guys obviously saw the race. I didn't actually get to watch it. I just know Hamilton, was able to win. Bottas drifted back. Verstappen, Perez, I guess, did forever on hard tires or whatever. And then,
All right. Valtteri Bottas did Valtteri Bottas-like things. He led the first 19 laps. And then Hamilton was like, Omega lol.
Once the tires got destroyed, he's like, hey.
Yeah.
Vettel, by the way, had a rough night or day.
Is it rough or is it just Vettel day?
He didn't do he was similar to Stroll this time, so that was a nice improvement.
He finished ahead of him.
Yeah, so that was a good step in the right direction there. I think Aston Martin's just way off.
Yeah,
I agree.
XD. Turns out the clone is not as good as it
man, you look at who Aston Martin has now, Lawrence Stroll. That dude is not gonna settle for that.
Nope, no, he's not.
That dude is a dude that's gonna get things done. He's gonna do whatever he has to do to get things done.
But I have a feeling they might be looking forward. Yeah, I have a feeling they might be looking forward to next year as well.
There's not much point if you're a midfield team, you don't want to really invest into this car now. So you just focus on next year. But anyways, back to the race. I'll let you guys kind of walk through what happened there. Whoever wants to take over.
Well, like lap 2 or something, Kimi Räikkönen literally runs into his teammate.
I think it was the end of the first lap.
It's something. It was really early. Really early. Literally just runs into him. Maybe he was sleeping.
Gets stuck under the car and he couldn't get under. He couldn't get turned and had to DNF.
That was a great strategy.
Yep. That was pretty much the only thing that happened wrecking Rise that race. It was pretty much the only thing that happened really that race entirely. It was a snoozer, I will admit. When the highlight, one of your major highlights of this race was Schumacher overtaking Latifi. Something went wrong.
True.
Wasn't Mazepin like way off?
Yeah, he was
like a minute off of his teammate.
And then Latifi getting passed by a Haas.
He didn't spin. Guys, he didn't spin. It was crazy. It was unbelievable. What a performance. He should be getting a promotion.
Put him in a Mercedes.
Yep. 100%. In the real world, we actually call him a clown. But it was pretty uneventful. Yeah, Perez made mediums last literally like 60 laps, it felt like. And then yeah. And we go to the greatest F1 track ever this week.
Catalonia?
Oh yeah.
Pain, but with the S.
Did you actually I did a really funny tweet about what I thought about Spain this week. I gotta find it. It was
I am intrigued to see how it looks with the chicane gone though. Whatever you want to call that last little bit.
Yeah, but this is what I said. I'm gonna make a bold prediction, guys. The Spanish GP will be shit. And get in there, Lewis.
I saw that one. It was like, I mean, he pretty much nailed it right there.
It's been Mercedes' playhouse for ever since the hybrid era. The only race they didn't win is when Rosberg and Hamilton were like, we're gonna kill each other.
Yeah, and Verstappen got his first win in his first race.
That is the only way America does not win this week.
Yeah, now Hamilton's gonna run away with it. I think Bottas gets beat still by Verstappen. But two takeaways from that race for me was Alpine looked pretty solid for once.
It looked better.
And once again, Norris still taking Ricciardo to school.
That's one.
Ricciardo did recover for a decent finish though. Low-key,
yeah, he got
where he started.
16th to 9th. Yeah.
There could be a bit of Ricciardo getting used to the car though too. So.
Yeah, I think that's a lot of it. I think it's a little less Ricciardo underperforming and just Lando just being on it. Like he is
that too.
Damn good.
He's looking great in that car ever since he got into it, and this being his third season in it now, I'm sure he's really like out competing that car.
Like you could make a case. Could you make him a case that he? I'd make a case. There's times so far that he's been actually better than Max or Lewis at times this season so far.
Who?
Lando.
I'm not gonna go that far and say that just because I mean it's pretty hard to weigh.
I rate him third overall right now.
I agree with that.
At the very least, yes. Yeah, I agree with that.
That's like good for a fan standpoint, low key, if he's like up there in the top 3.
Yeah, because everybody likes him.
Yeah, he's third in points. So
he's one of the few F1 drivers that have some personality. Although it's nowadays it's not really. We can't say that it's few anymore. F1's actually starting to get some personality into it, unlike it used to.
I think Lewis has a good personality.
Lewis and Max are good on social media. It's just Lando, just the way he is with everything is just like over the board.
Pretty funny.
Lewis has got a huge platform. Like he's like huge. I mean, doing things that no one else does with his platform, and like he has this big clothing line with what's the brand? Some brand.
He truly is a worldwide brand. He's not just a racing driver.
I mean, he even makes music.
Yeah,
dude.
Yeah,
I forget his music name, but he's been featured on like some actual like big artist's song under his music name, whatever it is. I can't remember. I listened to it before, and it actually was not terrible.
Well, that's also judging based off Gary, so.
It was not a genre. It's a song I'll never listen to again. It was not a genre I like.
You don't listen to Luke Combs.
It was like out of 10, it was like a 1. Yeah, those are my takeaways though. Is Alpine's looking decent, Norris is looking great, and I mean, did you guys?
Perez had a good.
I mean, Perez has been doing a very superb job.
Perez needs to do a little better at the start of the race because like he lost a spot to he felt like the fifth or sixth, so he got kind of stuck. Like if he can stay in the top 4, like we'll see how good he is already in that Red Bull.
Ferrari actually seems really competitive again this year too. I mean, not
yeah.
competing
We
for
had
wins,
some Ferrari
but...
strategy though. We had some Ferrari strategy. Yeah, Sainz got Ferrari'd.
Yeah.
We're gonna put mediums on it like lap 20.
I mean,
and go all the way to the end.
Ferrari's looking a lot more competitive, but now if they want any chance at podium, now they really have to get through McLaren.
Oh yeah.
So it's going to be
McLaren's
still
definitely
really
their
tough.
best team for sure.
But now you got Perez, who clearly is capable of driving that Red Bull.
Yep.
So it's going to be even tougher now because honestly, I think Perez with a solid day could beat Bottas as well.
Yeah, I think Perez probably needs a couple more races to get a little more used to that car, and then
he's talked
really
about
gets used to it.
He's talked about he's not been comfortable yet, but I mean he's still doing pretty solid for not being comfortable.
Yeah, exactly.
I think this is the best so far a Verstappen teammate has done compared to Gasly and Albon.
Ricardo. I mean,
I'm talking after him, after his era.
Okay, yeah.
But
so, I mean, there wasn't a whole lot that happened at F1, and then we're going to like one of the worst F1 tracks. So
maybe F1 or not F1. Sorry, maybe Red Bull will finally break out of its tendency of being able to only have one competitive driver. Because when Vettel was there, it was Vettel, and then when Verstappen came, they kind of butted heads a little bit. Or not Verstappen, sorry, Ricardo. When Ricardo came, they kind of butted heads a little bit, and Vettel was like, "Nah, I'm out." And then Verstappen came to be teammates with Ricardo, and then Ricardo was like, "Nah, I'm out."
Yeah.
And then Gasly and Albon were never really competitive in that car, so maybe they'll break out of that trend.
So we'll save our race predictions for when we add that onto the NASCAR predictions for this weekend at the end of the podcast. But still within the F1 side of things, Roman Grosjean is going to be testing a Mercedes at the France track. Paul Ricard.
His home track.
Yep, his home track. And I thought that was really cool.
Yeah, you want to hate Mercedes, but you just can't.
They do some good stuff.
Oh, no, I can. Oh, no, I can.
We can on race day, but this one here is great. We were hoping that would be the car he would get to drive, and they stepped up to the plate.
It's the, from what I've read, it's the 2019 mark.
That's still way faster than pretty much anything else.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah. Probably faster than the Haas is right now.
Oh, hands down. I don't even know if the 2022 car will be fast enough for that thing.
And I love what Toto said is that we didn't want Roman's final memory in the F1 car being that crash. We want,
Yeah, Toto is the one who makes it hard to dislike. I want to dislike him so bad.
But he's so good. He's so good at being like this.
I really want to dislike him. Ugh! But he does so many things that makes me like him.
He's an anti-hero.
Yeah, Roman's a cool dude overall. Good guy. Doing decent in IndyCar so far. He's not doing the ovals like Johnson is as well.
Johnson's not doing ovals.
That's what I was comparing him, saying like he is also not doing ovals.
Okay, I thought I heard it the other way.
So I guess that kind of takes us towards the end. So
I guess. Oh, let's talk about Nitro.
Nitro iRacing. I won. There you go.
Yeah, we had NASCAR Heat decided to take a poop.
Oh, okay. So yeah, servers were down on Xbox. Races postponed. So we'll be doing that, and then we had iRacing season started, and there was a couple big crashes. Fun. And
I went for
overall,
a ride.
Yeah, you did. Went up and over. There was some good racing, really crazy racing towards the end of the race.
I was surprised because I think everyone was really worried it would be single file, but we actually tried to make something happen.
It was good. We made the outside work, and then somehow I found myself in the best spot possible on the last lap, and then I made the right move and got lucky, and we didn't wipe out and won. And
I got second.
Matt got second. I don't know where Eddie finished. He was behind me, and then he was like 3 wide.
7th or something like
Seventh.
that. I don't know.
And the next
F1 went really well for me.
F1. What's the next iRacing track?
Phoenix.
Oh, that's right. Okay, so that'll be a fun one. No grip.
Literally 0 grip.
Am I
Also,
trying?
I guess for the Gary fans that are watching, we're doing something a little different for the Cup Series this week.
Well, this is not good.
What? We're doing 2 races in 1 week.
Oh, I thought you were about to say open tryouts.
Oh.
I was about to be screwed.
Oh no! Oh no! No, I honestly on the Twitter I should just be like, we're not accepting anyone. Stop
I
it.
mean,
Don't text us, please.
I mean, we do got one hater on Twitter that needs to
Yeah, for the guy,
race in Nitro.
the guy that called us fat.
Lol, XD, who gives a shit?
We're just not fat. We're fluffy, okay, dude? It's good to have a little bit of excess weight.
But yeah, we're making up the Nitro race by racing Friday and Saturday, so I'm sure it's going to be very lovely, a lovely atmosphere.
Oh,
It's
I'm
gonna be a
so
rough week.
excited.
It's gonna be a rough weekend
sure.
for Nitro racing.
Oh, dude, it's gonna be long. It's gonna be long. It's gonna be a long one.
I'll be dead honest.
So
I'm not
excited.
looking forward to it.
No, neither am I. Saturday, if
I-
anything happens Friday night that
Oh,
gets to
yeah.
people at each other's throats, Saturday is gonna be a real great time.
Yeah, because Saturday's Auto Club, so that's gonna be all close quarters. Insanity.
Something's gonna
And-
happen Saturday or Friday night that somebody
Yeah.
explodes somebody and it carries over into Saturday.
Oh
when
yeah, it's gonna
some
be.
stuff
The
happens.
best part is we'll still be split up into our manufactured parties.
That's true.
I think
Yeah.
even if we have less than 16, I'm down to stick with what that system is.
Oh, dude, Jonathan's just a pain in the ass, man.
What is he doing?
No, I'm just saying he is a pain in the ass half the time.
What's okay? So Friday is what track,
Phoenix.
and then Saturday is Auto Club, right? You said.
Yeah.
Hell,
so
yeah,
Phoenix-
2 days of living hell.
Yeah, Phoenix and Auto Club, 2 very different tracks, but it's going to be fun. So we'll see what happens there.
You talk about
Hopefully-
a track with tire wear issues, and then the second track we're on high draft, so it's gonna look like
No,
an
it's
airport
not.
runway. Oh, you're doing normal? Oh my god, it's about to look like an airport runway.
It's still gonna look like an airport. Right?
Yeah, it's going to still be crazy.
Yeah.
I'll be looking forward to it.
We're saving high draft from Michigan.
I don't know how I'm going to split that into the videos if I just do 2 different uploads. That, well, that
I
is
think-
what I'm going to have to do.
I
but-
got an idea.
Yeah,
how
I think
how
it's
about
good.
you just split it?
Well, I'm going to do one video one day, and then the other race drop the next day or whatever. So
Yeah.
that's how I'll probably do it. Or I could just split it up between one at the beginning of the week towards the end of the week. I'll figure it out. But there you have the Nitro stuff for this upcoming week. And we apparently don't have any podcast questions.
Apparently we had one.
Jay asked one. I read it, and I'm not answering it.
Ex-
So
Chase Elliott one, right?
yeah, there ain't no point to dive into that.
He's winning at Dover for me, Paul.
There you go. Answers the question right there. So I guess we do go into the part now where we get ready to wrap it up and talk about our predictions for the upcoming NASCAR and F1 weeks here. So NASCAR this weekend is going to Darlington, throwback week. Yeah, I mean, honestly, if Eric Jones was in a top tier ride, I would put him in my fantasy lineup. I would consider him to be a legitimate contender.
He's never finished outside the top 10 at Darlington.
And I would pick maybe Chase Elliott, but the way he's been going this year, I'm not going to pick Chase
He
Elliott.
finished 5th at Kansas.
Yeah, he finished 5th. And how many times did you hear his name?
What do the
How-
other 9 races look like?
Wait, how many late race restarts were there, and then tire strategy?
Eddie, you just gotta face it. Chase Elliott
Yeah,
is the
just
worst
accept it, man.
driver right
I
literally hate you guys.
Yeah, so I think Elliott will be top 10, but he's not going to be a factor for the win whatsoever. I'm going to say Martin Truex Jr. or Denny Hamlin, please.
I'm
Hamlin
genuinely
sucks.
going with Hamlin on this.
Please,
Oh,
Denny.
he's ass.
Hamlin's won there before.
Yeah, he's won
He's
a bunch
very
of
good at
races
Darlington.
before, but he loses every time because he chokes.
He's doing way better than that 9 team.
XT.
Yeah, because of points.
That's usually how sports work. It comes down to points. That's what makes you better. At the end of the day,
Unbelievable.
Denny's the only JGR driver that hasn't won, but he's still the best one. I think it's Hamlin or Truex for NASCAR and F1. I think it's Lewis Hamilton. I'll let you guys go and do your NASCAR F1 picks. We'll start with Jay.
I got Hamlin for NASCAR. F1. Yeah, I think I'll still go with Hamlin. Or
Hamlin?
Lord, Hamilton.
It does double duty.
Hamilton.
I mean, I just don't see how Mercedes gets beat at Spain.
I think Hamilton's an obvious pick at Spain, unless something goes catastrophically wrong.
Yeah, I mean, which is happened.
Possible,
before,
but very unlikely.
Yeah, very unlikely, especially at Spain.
What about Matt? What do you got?
Dirty Hamlin and get in there, Lewis.
Look at that. 3 of us so far have had the exact same picks, and we're gonna end that.
I bet
streak.
I can guess what Eddie says.
Yeah. We're gonna end the streak right here and hand it over to Eddie. Who do you think's winning NASCAR and F1?
I can't believe all the bullyingness I'm getting right now from you guys. It's unreal. Darlington. I'm actually not gonna pick Chase Elliott. It's gonna be a shocker, huh? I'm gonna go Kevin Harvick.
Man, you should have chose Chase Elliott. That would have been a better pick than Kevin Harvick.
Absolutely.
As I've said before, F1, Lando Norris, because I'm gonna keep saying it until he actually wins.
You're gonna be saying that for like a decade, man.
I think if there's one track where there's not going to be anything happen, it's Spain. Unless it rains, nothing's going to happen at Spain. And God, please make me wrong.
I'm gonna go out on a limb here. Kevin Harvick will not finish in the top 10.
All right, if he doesn't, if he finishes in the top 10, you have to do a shoey.
You still have to do a shoey from the Daytona thing.
Deal.
Whatever race it was.
Deal.
Atlanta, yeah.
Deal. Harvick's not in the top 10. I'll do a shoe. Wait, no. If Harvick is in the top 10,
if he's in the top 10, you have to do it. You have to do a shoey.
We'll do
I hope he freaking makes it.
2 shoeys.
Yeah, we'll have to do a double.
1 for each foot.
Yeah, Pete, he makes a last lap pass to get to 10th or something. I guess that does it then for the Going Racing podcast.
And you have to do it with Coca-Cola instead of Pepsi.
No. Was this episode 14 or 15? 15. Episode 15. We made it to 15 weeks, everybody. We're closing in slowly on half of a year of the Going Racing podcast.
Oh,
in
15?
another 10 weeks we'll be there anyways.
I feel so old.
Or 11 weeks, sorry.
You've done this 15 times already?
Yeah.
I feel so old.
Holy cow.
Hopefully we do it another like 1,500 times. But we've been kind of doing average on the statistics. I've been watching those statistics on Anchor and whatnot. I mean, YouTube, they're doing pretty decent. But they're doing average on Spotify. So we got to pick that up. I got to market it more or something. We'll see. But yeah, I guess that does it a lot quicker than I anticipated tonight. About an hour and a half long. So everybody that came out to listen on YouTube, Spotify, whatever platforms you listen on that aren't relevant, but still we are on, we appreciate you coming out to listen. Matt, Jay, Eddie, you got anything closing out to say before we end it?
Next gen poggers.
Next gen's here, and even on iRacing.
Yeah.
I'm doing a race already.
We were talking about it earlier today. We're like, there's no way we're gonna get access to that till like next year, and now
iRacing. Hold my beer.
We're gonna get it today.
We're gonna be doing a lot of racing with that next gen car. We're excited for that on iRacing and whatnot. But
Karma's announcing now iRacing and Nitro is switching to the next gen cars for the rest of the season.
If there's like an all-star race or something, we gotta do it with the next gen car.
Honestly, I will see how it
At
goes.
Coca-Cola Super Speedway.
Just learn how to drive it. Forehead.
Oh, it'll be drivable.
It's not that. It's people getting the car in the first.
I'm doing a race at Daytona right now.
It'll be good. So once again, thank you all for coming out and listening. We will see you guys next week. We have F1 back-to-back finally, and then we have, like we said, NASCAR. We'll be going to Darlington for the throwback week. So we appreciate you guys coming out.
Ben Affleck.
Whoever that's an actor, isn't it? Something like that. I don't know. What's that?
That's Batman.
Oh, it's Batman? Okay. Is he waving like the flag or something?
No, what the shit? What?
What
flag?
Like the flag man, like woo.
That's Barney.
Then what's Ben Affleck have to do with anything?
He's just Batman, dude.
Okay, there you have it. So we'll see you guys next week.
Dark Knight.
What's that?
Go watch the Dark Knight.
I'm not watching anything about Batman. All right, we'll see you guys next week. Thank you for listening. Have a good night, everybody.
See you guys next week. Thanks for
Go
watching.
Braves.
See you guys.
Watch
Peace.
Twitch on TV.